Yeah, I just started it. Yeah, I just started it. Yeah, I just started it.
So the first thing, as soon as the stream starts, last time on Phaz and Friends. Stream starts, last time on Phaz and Friends. Stream starts, last time on.
No, actually. Apparently, according to OBS, yes, but according to my view of the stream, no. All right, but we are live now, so we are good. So last time you had to leave early, and then Tim hopped on and talked about Caleb's backstory.
Nito Bandito.
And we got the recap caught all the way up to where you joined the party at the barn. So we're
At the
gonna
bone.
we're gonna pick up right there, and I'm gonna see if you want to describe your first interaction with the party.
So, kind of fuzzy on the details, but pretty sure. Pretty sure my guy has no sense of direction, considering he ended up there when he was heading to Kingspittle.
No, you have to stop by that town to go there, anyways.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, keep in mind, I can't actually see the maps because Fantasy Grounds hates me for whatever reason.
Yes. So yeah, you on the way up, you had to actually stop at that town to be able to get. It's on the way. It wasn't out of the way.
Went from Fort Bray to whatever city they're in, or were in.
Oh man, what was the name of that city?
I have no idea.
Oh man, now I have to go into Fantasy Grounds and look this up because now I don't remember.
Damn it, Brent.
Yeah, it's all your fault.
Nice things, reasons why we can't have them.
Yup, all your fault.
I mean, that's modus operandi for me. We also can't have nice things because what? Because our fucking wizard or sorcerer, whatever he is, wants to be a lich.
Yeah, but I kind of offered that to him. It wasn't that he initially wanted to be that to start off with, but I
To
offered it
to Tim's credit, though,
the way that
to
he
his credit,
the way he was playing his wizard. I was like, you could try to go for a lich.
in his defense, he has not done anything inherently evil, so I can't really say shit.
He's pushed the boundaries. And it wasn't like the boundaries of of what he's doing is evil. It's how he's trying to push Jorah that was coming off as evil.
Although the main thing I have against that is, it's okay to find a person and be like, oh yeah, so I'm planning on doing an evil thing. Like, telling me you're going to be evil does nothing to my roleplay. Because I'm good at acting like I didn't hear shit.
Yeah, a lot of people are. A lot of
But
people that we are
tell
playing with are. Leglock.
tell I don't think telling Jorah's player that he was going to try to dominate him and shit was the smartest move.
No.
Do I have anything against Tim wanting to make an evil character? Not in the slightest. It happens.
Of course. But the
Was
way
it?
he's going about it, no.
I'd be a little more inconspicuous with the evil and try not to meta that you're doing some weird shit.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, definitely. So
it's not my character. I'm not going to tell him how to play his character.
the town's name is Laglock.
Laglock.
Fort Bray, there's one road
Like,
coming off of Fort Bray that goes down to Balleg. Balleg goes up to Aldport. Aldport goes over to Dunmarsh. Dunmarsh goes up to Lyerton. Lyerton goes to Laglock. Laglock goes to Kingspittle.
which means somewhere in my adventures, I probably crossed what's her name and homeboy she was dragging. But we'll never know because that player decided to be another character and decided to leave the game.
Who knows? You might have even known the person that she was going after. You might have known him personally. Oh well.
But yeah, was just traveling through towns, and I saw these people hanging out in a barn, and Fontaine's just, hey, maybe they need some help. Because, of course,
They're doing shady stuff. Probably there's probably an opportunity for gold there.
Because I'm notorious for playing characters that just want to help.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I could do an evil campaign.
I could. I could play an evil character for a one-shot. Any more than a one-shot, and my own personality starts intervening.
Uh-huh. I mean, think about it. Alcon, Morvul. Morvul's kind of edgy, but at the same time, just, I'm going to help you if it's aimed towards killing goblins. But yeah, Alcon, Logan, Fontaine. I had a level 6 wizard, Branford Commonhorn, who was all about helping people, and he was the dad of the group.
Yeah. So, you found the group in a barn. And I think everyone just kind of let you in.
No, Cheska was ready to cave my head in.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Of course, Fontaine's not a huge guy, because Archer.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was just looking up at this barbarian, just like, I'm just here to help. See if you needed help. That's all I'm here for. And of course, I showed up at the most opportune time.
Yeah, because you guys went into battle the very next session.
The very next session.
Yeah, this is a campaign. It doesn't really have that much combat. First session you're in. Hey, look, combat. Yeah, so Jorah was scoping out the fort, the keep. The keep.
I still think Fontaine should have gone, but then the people trying to sack the keep would have been in a bad way.
Yeah. Jorah was scoping out the keep. It was filled with members of his old order, the Order of the Merciful Swords, and he went inside to try and talk to the commander, which he had found is Commander Grace, his old war buddy, to talk her out of the crusade that they are currently on.
Whatever that is.
Tim cast invisibility on him, and if he all of a sudden didn't feel like he was concentrating on the spell anymore, he would know something's wrong, and then they would charge the front gates to try and get him out. Don't ask me why they did not charge the side passage that the other people went into, because all of you knew about the side passage, but
Did Fontaine know about the passage, though?
Yes. Because right before they set out, right before the invisibility got cast, and they set out, Bradley sat you all down and explained that there was a side passage around the side, and that's where they're going to enter.
But no, we're too good for the front passage. We're just gonna, or for the side passage, we could just storm straight up the middle.
Yeah.
Because of course we did.
Well, so Jorah and Bradley go into the We might have talked about this a little bit last time when you weren't here, but they go into the keep, and they go towards the armory to steal some armor. So because Jorah went in completely unarmored because otherwise he'd have disadvantage on stealth. They went
Right.
completely unarmored, and so they make their way over to the armory, and they find. Yeah, no, I did talk about this. That's right. Where I ended was where I ended the session. That session on a cliffhanger with Jorah seeing a black stone and then skeleton with souls entering it, and then a skeleton hand reaching from the darkness, grabbing the stone and retreating back into the darkness after he
The stone
defeated.
that Caleb now has.
Yes. Well, I haven't got that far. Uh, I left it at that's where we had to end because I had something I had to go do. Um, it was right after Jorah defeated Commander Grace because Commander Grace did not seem to be reasonable and attacked Jorah. So Jorah tied up Commander Grace and went and found Bradley eating donuts in a room like across the way, and gets
Because
him
of course.
come back. Yeah, he wraps up the sword, ends up touching it, sees that vision, and then is able to finish wrapping it up without any more incidents. And then
For now.
yes, for now. Well, with him there are no more incidents. So he wraps up the blade. He takes the blade, ties it together with the rope, and then ties it around his chest. So he is carrying it, so he doesn't have to carry it by hand. And then he has Bradley help him pick up and carry Grace. And they start heading outside as the sounds of the bells start ringing because their cavalry has arrived and has broken in through the front door.
And Fontaine got to showcase his archery skills.
He really did. But I don't think anyone paid attention to Fontaine, which is really sad because it was really good shooting.
I mean, I can hit you at 600 feet.
Yeah, you can. Easily.
We haven't gotten to my favorite part of the campaign yet.
Nope, we haven't. Not sure what your favorite part is, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't this. And this was your first introduction to this campaign, so. So you guys
No,
are
this is not.
fighting the paladins, which I don't know if you've ever actually fought an actual paladin before. They don't die as easily as those paladins were dying. Those paladins were kind of dropping like flies. Which makes you wonder, what happened to them?
Well, when you have cursed paladins,
Yeah, but you guys didn't stick around long enough to find out. You killed some and then you ran off.
we did what we were supposed to do, and then we fucking
You
got the
got
fuck out of there.
you got the attention so that Jorah and Bradley could escape. I think you guys saw them escaping or something, and you were able to know that they were out.
No, Dora came walking out from inside the keep,
That's right. They came out towards you guys.
and we decided, okay, we're done here. Time to go.
Yep. And you got some of the people. I think one of them that surrendered.
We had Bradley and like two of them because they got us by the barn because Fontaine had to dig a couple graves because you can't non-lethal arrows.
Yes, you cannot. Some people say that you can. I'm saying you can't.
And I tagged him dead in the face.
It has to be a melee weapon to be able to non-lethal.
So I could non-lethal with the bow if I'm hitting them with the bow,
Yes,
just not by shooting arrows at them.
exactly. Not when you can shoot 600 feet without disadvantage. Sorry, your arrows are a little bit more powerful than what can just knock someone unconscious.
Like, even if I tag him in the shoulder, that might tear into something important.
Yes.
Like, I'm fully behind me not being able to non-lethal with a bow. I get it. Especially when we get higher up in level and I start doing what I want to with Fontaine.
Yeah. I was more saying it for the people that are going to comment, like, oh, you can shoot him in the knee. Well, obviously, there's still arteries in the knee.
But, yeah, sharpshooter feet, if you're able to accurately shoot at 600 feet, then. Which I believe is like somewhere in the ballpark of 200 yards.
Something like that.
My math is off. I don't have the exact number. I'm not going to calculate the exact number.
I don't feel like doing so either. 600 feet is a long distance.
Yeah, to shoot accurately at roughly 200 yards, that's a hell of a draw weight. Which means I'm pulling back a ridiculously far amount with said bow. Which, if I'm hitting someone with it, it's not going to be pretty.
It's going to do damage. It's going to do a lot
now
of damage.
Now that's a lot of damage.
Yes, exactly. If only flex tape was a thing, you just slap that on the wound and call it good.
Hell, we could have done that to Jorah.
Flex seal all in there. Yeah, so you guys had an unconscious Commander Grace, and Jorah took Commander Grace's sword, took it outside behind the barn, and buried it. Oh wait, no. First, Caleb tried to cast Identify on it.
Which didn't go so well.
It did not go so well. And Jorah was able to convince one of the people that was going with you, that had surrendered, to join up with Bradley and their cause, to fight against this new order of the Merciful Swords. And Caleb used Identify and touched the sword and transported him, basically didn't transport, but transported his mind to a palace, a very long hallway palace with dark, tall pillars running up and down the length of it. On one end, a throne stood at weird proportions. It was way too tall. It was almost Tim Burton-esque throne.
Right.
And sitting on this throne was a being, and the being said that he wants. I guess there was a time before where Caleb he touched something. He touched like one of the swords or something, and he was able to see the stone that Jorah had seen previously. But instead of the hand coming out and grabbing it, he could reach out and grab the stone himself. And then he woke out of that vision with the stone in hand.
That's not ominous or anything.
No. It's totally great. It's totally wonderful.
That isn't foreshadowing or anything.
No, it isn't. That's kind of why I put it in there, because it totally is not foreshadowing whatsoever. Not at all. It's like the two sides of the stone. The one side, Jorah's standing there watching the stone, and the other side, Caleb sees the stone and reaches through and grabs it, and then pulls it back through.
Which means Jorah
saw
Caleb.
Now you're getting it.
From the future.
Now you're getting it. That's kind of what I tried to do with that one. I was very meticulous in my the way I was wording things around that.
Like, I'm pretty sure that I understood what you were doing the first time, but I have the goldfish of a memory, so.
Yeah, I was trying very hard to be very meticulous about keeping those two very parallel.
That was definitely one of those you cheeky bugger moments.
So he had the stone and he didn't know what to do with it, so he tried to give it to Feifel and have Feifel disappear, only to have Feifel reappear with the stone and the stone glowing. Or I don't remember exactly what I had to do, but he realized that he could not just hide it away where he hides his familiar. So he has to carry it on him.
And it
And
absorbs souls.
it does. But
I'm
okay,
not
so
supposed to know.
back to the vision that he's currently having of when he touched the sword, when he tried to identify it. He he stood in this hallway, almost hallway. It's kind of like a palace hallway.
Right.
Black pillars on either
Gotcha.
side, Tim Burton-esque throne, man sitting on the throne. The man
Still
says
with you.
the man says that Caleb has his artifact, and he wishes. And Caleb says, what do you want with it?" And yeah, the man says that he wishes Caleb to fill the stone with souls, and in return, he will grant him power beyond his wildest dreams.
Grant me power beyond power.
And Caleb thinks it sounds pretty good, so he agrees. And then he also gets a name, which I'm not going to say on this because it is well. Actually, you know what? No, fine. It's fine. You can know the name. It's fine.
What if we're getting like 10
Erebos.
points? Hmm?
The name of Erebos.
That sounds familiar for some reason.
Probably. It's from Theros. It is the god of the dead.
I thought so.
Because why else would who else could grant lichdom but someone who is a god of dead? So now Caleb has a new goal of filling the stone.
A god of chaos could.
A god of chaos could, but I thought it was more fun to have Erebos.
Oh no, I'm not shitting on your decision at all. Just that would work too.
So he realizes that, I mean, he wakes up from this vision. Everyone's looking at him like, what the hell just happened? And Jorah's just like, this weapon is not safe in here. We have to go hide it. And you guys rolled some decent, okay-ish, kind of meh rolls on trying to determine if the weapon is a packed weapon, specifically.
I didn't do shit.
Well, no.
I was out digging holes.
I'm just saying the party in general. When I say you, guys. I just mean the party in general. Because then there's you guys, that's just a party, and then there's me, which is the DM. You guys didn't roll very well, and they determined that it was not a packed weapon. She is not a warlock, so it was not a packed weapon, so she couldn't summon it back to herself.
But
So
it could be a cursed weapon, and then she could.
yes. So Jorah takes a sword. You already finished digging the graves for the bodies. And he takes a shovel and he goes off somewhere around the barn where he thinks that no one will be able to find it and buries the sword. And then comes back, realizes he didn't cover the mound of dirt he just made with snow again, goes back out there, covers it with snow so you can just walk out there and be like, hey, that's freshly dug right there.
Did he also cover his tracks?
Yes.
Because the whole thing's a moot point if there's just footsteps leading to a random ass spot.
Yep. And we had a discussion about that. because we were laughing about it. But yeah, so you guys bury the dead soldiers, you bury the weapon, and then you turn in for the night, setting watch, and you make sure that Bradley is on watch, which I thought was a really strange option. But you guys made sure Bradley was on watch. And I rolled for his perception. He rolled extremely low, and Commander Grace took that opportunity to make her escape. She got her sword back. I'm not going to say which means she did, but she got her sword back.
Because no one decided to check around the barn to see if it was dug up.
Nope. She cut the ropes. She stabbed and then I rolled her stealth, and I rolled a nat 20. So she went and stabbed the follower that you guys had gotten, and she choked out she choked out Bradley, and then she threw a dagger into the person that you guys were able to save because he was waking up. She didn't want to kill you guys because, well, she doesn't want to kill Bradley and Jor. She wants to convert them. Obviously. Because, I mean, she wants everyone in her that was in her order to join. But the other person she didn't really care about. And he was waking up and was going to ruin everything. And so she threw a dagger. And
you weren't going to off me because it was like my second or third session.
Well, of course not. And you weren't with her. You weren't waking up. Not yet. So she went and she opened the doors, and I rolled stealth for that and rolled badly. So Jorah woke up. And I think he got, like, everyone else awake pretty quickly. And she was just stepping out of the barn. So she is turning around to close the doors, and he shoots a guiding bolt. Just slips through the doors, and she's still able to get them closed.
I was hoping to get an arrow through there, but Jorah started talking over me.
Yeah, it happens.
Which doesn't really confront me, and he just, oh well, missed opportunity.
I mean, she had enough health that she was going to get away anyways.
Oh no!
She definitely was going to. She would definitely probably would have been limping, and there probably would have been a blood trail if you were able to shoot an arrow.
Like, the goal was not to try to stop her. The goal was, you mess with us, you getting hurt.
Yeah.
And then if I manage to get a blood trail, then hey, that works even more.
Oh, and this is about the time that you guys like, wait, where's Rob? And you realize he's been gone for like the last 3 days.
And Fontaine's just like, who the fuck is Rob?
Yeah.
And no one explained it.
Oh my goodness, you guys didn't realize that Rob wasn't even with you. Like, you didn't even ask or anything. It was hilarious. And I think I said like 3 or 4 times that Rob wasn't even there.
So when did Rob actually leave the party?
In Lyerton.
So
a whole day's travel south.
Jorah was just carrying this cask of water around.
No, it's empty.
With no...
Yeah, I don't... There is no in-game logic besides the fact that out-of-game people were just spacing the fact that that Rob wasn't actually there. And then they head off and go to King's Piddle. The party goes off to King's Piddle. In the hopes that, Rob knows that we were going up that way, so maybe Rob will meet us there. Which is a great attitude to have.
It's only by the grace of the DM that Rob was actually there.
No, it's because I had this plan for him for a long time. Like the whole King's Pit thing was for Rob.
Also, I would like to point out that I had asked multiple times who Rob is, and no one gave me an explanation. I had to find out when we saw Rob fight that one group.
I know. I didn't want to. I didn't want to DM give you an answer because that was something you were asking in character. So you guys make it to
Oh no,
King's
but
Piddle,
yes.
and we're almost caught up. Do you remember what happened when you guys first entered King's Piddle?
Not immediately. We walked in. Yeah, that's about all I know. We got it was real busy, and I guess we were looking for Rob, and I don't actually what all happened.
There was an announcement saying that Rob was going to be fighting in the ring, and you guys went and watched the fight. And then Caleb
Yes.
tried to cast things into the ring and found out that you cannot cast things into the ring because that would be really broken. To have someone in the ring or in the stands help the fighters by casting magic.
Or arrows.
Yeah. But you guys didn't test the physical aspect of it until you went for the second time. So you saw Rob fight, and you saw Rob fight 3 rather pushovers. What did I call them? The Red Fingers. Yeah, the bandits, the Red Fingers. Because their signature thing is casting burning hands.
That they really didn't get a chance to do.
Oh no, they did once. But Rob's a rogue. Rogues are really good at dex things. And then the fight happened. Rob won, obviously, and was escorted back through a gate that you guys were not able to get to. And you guys started asking around, trying to figure out, trying to investigate the area, trying to find a way back into the area where he was. And you guys found where Tall is, which is the gnome trading place. You guys found the storeroom for it specifically, with a bunch of gnomes running around moving boxes here and there. And you guys decided to stop your investigation down there, and went back up because you asked some gnomes, and the gnomes said they didn't have anything to do with the pits because they didn't. And so you guys go back up. You start searching around some more, and you find out where you can sign up for the pit fights because you had a bounty to to fight the champion. And you get signed up for the pit fights, and you ask where's a good place to stay, and she directs you to the Scarlet Finger. No, the Pink Poker. The Pink Poker.
It was definitely pink.
It was. And she said that they have the best accommodations in the entire place. And you guys did not insight check. You guys did not question it. You accepted it for the face value it was and went to the Pink Poker, which is an extremely neon bright pink building that was very standout. Almost like they really wanted you to go there.
And we didn't question a
You
fucking thing.
didn't. Gotta love it when the party doesn't question things and just goes along with it. Gotta love it. You walk in, you see all the as I learned through Tim, the people called flappers. I did not know that was their name. And you guys get a room, and you don't question it, and then they offer their services to you. You guys decline. Cheska, which is female, gets put in one hallway. You guys get put in the other, separating the male and the females. And Jorah detects fiends once he's in the room. He detects fiends all around him. And he does not really get much good sleep because of that. He's absolutely terrified, thinking they're going to attack at any moment. You guys get up in the morning, and Cheska saves on a spell that she doesn't know what it was. And she runs out to the hallway and sees three flappers walking away. And she talks to them. They are very off-putting. Something seems very wrong with them. But she leaves it alone and doesn't attack them. And goes over to your guys' side to make sure to see if you guys are awake. You guys are. And says that we need to get out of here. And that is where Cheska decided to leave us. And say that he just doesn't want to play D&D anymore.
Cheska left.
Oh, right.
After we...
You guys walk out. You have a conversation with the person at the front desk. Which, do you want to describe that conversation? Because it didn't go well.
Caleb, buddy. So, I'm still under the firm belief that we would have been fine. Absolutely fine. Had Caleb not gotten nervous.
Yeah, probably.
Because we needed to know what time it was, because we found out our pit fight was at noon.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what time it was. And so we had decided, hey, let's go ask the receptionist at the front desk. And then we can go and, I guess, look for Rob for a bit, and then go to our fight and keep looking for Rob. And Caleb, lovable guy, I guess got nervous about telling them that they cleaned the room.
Yeah.
And the receptionist seemed off. On our way to the receptionist desk, we saw a couple of the ladies talking at what appeared to be an open door, because that's all we saw. They went in, and it was eerily quiet, is what the description of that room was. If I remember correctly.
It was.
Which, as a player, I was getting red flags since we got in this. But Fontaine was not paying much attention. So, we get up to the receptionist desk. Caleb was telling them that, we had a great stay. Don't be surprised if the room's a little cleaner than we got in there. I don't remember if he told her about the fiends. I don't remember.
Nope, he did not. But he did say we did not accept any of these services that were provided.
By the way, what time is it? And then I don't remember what exactly was said by said receptionist. But she was basically just like, oh no, you don't get to leave.
It was basically a response of too early for you to leave. because you had declined their service.
Caleb. I think what really set him off was that she gave him a weird look when he said something about the room being cleaner.
Yeah,
And
because
so I think,
why would you do that kind of look?
which I think got Caleb super nervous, and he did that thing where nervous people, when they start talking and
They just don't
act
stop.
Which I cannot fault that. For as much as it's just like, Caleb, buddy, I get it.
Yeah.
I can't fault that. I would do the same thing. Me as a person, not like Fontaine. I'm real good at opening my mouth and promptly inserting my foot.
So what ensued after that was Cheska vanished, disappeared, popped out of existence.
Return to the void that is the character creation screen.
Apparently. Logged out of Minecraft. And left you guys to do the fighting. Which...
Oh, that fucking combat, Jesus Christ.
What happened right at the beginning of combat? Do you remember the one single thing that made Jorah be like, we have to do this fast?
The door was locked.
Well, no.
Or was it
Announcement. No, an announcement came over saying that
that Rob was fighting the champion.
That Rob was going to fight the champion.
And he was like, oh, we gotta go. That's when he tried the door. We found the door was locked.
No, you guys started heading towards the door, but Jorah cast, detect fiends, divine sense. Saw there was one ahead of you, which was closing the doors and locking it. One to your left and one behind you.
I thought that the doors, once they started, getting hostile towards us, were magically locked.
Nope.
I did not hear that.
One of them actually walked up and closed the doors and locked it themselves.
That's why I reacted the way when you said the doors are locked. I'm like, well, shit. Although I do... No, we did miss my favorite part of that campaign, was the sparring matches.
Oh, yes. Before you guys got to King's Spittle. Yes. I forgot about that bit. I forgot about that. Yeah, you guys had some sparring matches, because I didn't have King's Spittle ready.
I did not like how Jorah played that, though.
Why not?
That... Just a, hold on, let me get warmed up. Puts all of his buffs on himself.
Oh, yes. I thought you meant when he fought Caleb.
No, I mean,
I loved that bit. That was wonderful.
Oh, that was very wonderfully played.
Well, that's why Bradley was like, well, let's at least even the odds. And cast stuff on Cheska, which Cheska did win.
Yeah. Oh yes. She could have easily killed Jorah.
It was a good fight. And then Caleb wanted part of it. So he challenged you, and you dropped him in that first round of combat. Or was it the second?
Me.
It was one of the first two.
What had happened was...
No. Say that again, but say that the better way.
What had happened was...
There you go.
He challenged Fontaine. Fontaine, I believe my response was, are you sure? because he had cast Fly on himself.
He
And
was
so he's
sure.
just zipping around. Hmm?
He was sure.
And so I asked him, okay, how far back do you want me? Because I guess he forgot, or I guess Caleb doesn't know how good Fontaine is with the bow. And I think Tim forgot that I'm accurate at 600. And so he's up in the air. He hits me with a chromatic orb because he gets higher initiative.
Even if he
So
didn't, even if he didn't, even if you didn't have sharpshooter to be accurate at 600 feet, you would still be accurate at 150.
yeah, and he was what, 60 feet in the air?
Something like that.
So he hits me with a little bit of acid damage, and
It barely scratches at your HP.
And no, I don't think I had to hit him twice. I hit him with my sharpshooter feat, and then he failed concentration and fell to the ground.
No, you hit him twice. The first time he was able to succeed on concentration. The
That's
second
true.
time took him down to like 6 hit points. And then he lost concentration. Then he fell and took 66, which knocked him unconscious.
Which, in my mind, that combat is he's floating around, hits Fontaine. Fontaine looks at his armor, looks back at Caleb, and just pop, pop, and he falls.
And then Caleb does the very dumb thing of going and challenging Jorah.
To be fair, I almost challenged Cheska, and I'm like, wait, no, we are on the complete opposite side of the spectrum here.
Yeah, you would get destroyed by Cheska.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, Caleb goes and challenges Jorah. Which Jorah just has fun with it without even casting a single spell. A spell slot spell.
But
He only cast one cantrip the entire time. Well, the same cantrip multiple times. He cast Eldritch Blast because he is a paladin warlock, and he just kept recasting Eldritch Blast, and he kept telling Caleb to think fast. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, so that was the sparring matches that happened before you guys got to Kingspittle.
at some point, we're going to have to do that again later.
Yeah, of course.
Once everybody has leveled up a little bit. Just, hey, Caleb, you want a rematch?
So you're in Kingspittle. You just fought the succubi, or you're going into combat against the succubi, and you hear that Rob is going to be fighting the champion.
Which definitely put a pep in Jorah's step.
Yes. He was just going to try and run by the succubi and just leave them there, but then he remembered that the doors are locked. And even then, I think he still wanted just to run past them.
Oh, this fucking combat, dude.
Succubi are not good if you get charmed by them.
I'm pretty sure I forgot that I had extra attack. I shot one once and then regrouped with everybody. And then I got charmed.
You did get charmed. That is a thing that happened.
And she was beating my ass.
No, she wasn't. All she did was kiss you a couple times. Which a kiss from a succubi when you're charmed by them does a crap ton of damage.
Although I have to say my favorite part of that combat was when she ordered me to attacked Jorah.
And
And
you
I had to ask the character just like, do I have to use my resources?
no,
Because she just said to take care of him.
yeah,
And so just an arrow whizzes by the both of them. And
and
she's like,
then
next time, do it like you mean it.
yeah, but you broke out of it before you had to actually shoot those arrows.
And then I hit her a couple of good times.
You did.
I also have to figure out when my hit point max is back up.
Mm-hmm. It's a good question.
I might need some divine intervention, i.e., one of the holy people in the group. Hey, can you fix this? I tried to break the locked door open with a fucking arrow.
Even though I have told you before that the reduction lasts until you finish a long rest.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That means
You guys have taken a long rest.
we just took a long rest.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. You have taken a long rest now. That was the first long rest since that fight. So your hit point maximum got reduced by quite a bit, if I remember right.
By like 12 or some shit.
Yeah. Did you write it on your
I'm pretty
character
sure
sheet?
my. What?
Did you write it on your character sheet?
I did not.
Do you
I
remember?
thought that I was going to get my hit point maximum back that session, so I never wrote it down. I'm pretty sure I was at like. I think Jessica had 45 hit points, right? Because I had the inverse of that, because Dragon was complaining that I had more health because I
Yeah.
took the tough feat.
Yeah.
So I'm at my hit point maximum is 54.
Yep, you were at 54. I just put you at 54. Which was 12 above what your current hit points were, so it's good. We remembered the 12.
Hey, I remembered a thing.
You did. So you guys end up escaping from there, killing all three of the succubi, and you guys run off to the pit to watch the fight. And you get there right as the champion is being revealed, which is another grung, but you guys knew that already, wielding a black sword, black rapier, which you guys knew that already. And all the stories that you guys have heard up to this point to that rapier being able to end fights with a single blow. Meaning going into this to fight the champion is a deadly encounter. And it's something you do not want to take lightly. Lucky for you guys, or I should say lucky for Rob, this grung actually knew Rob. It was Rob's old friend, Lily. And there was a lot that happened there. Ending in Lily knocking out Rob rather than killing him. But tried to do it in a way that made it seem like he could have been stabbed still.
Did Rob get hit with like the pommel or something?
Yep. He Lily rushed him at one point, stabbed the sword into the ground, and then backed off. Rob came towards him, and then Lily recalled the sword to him, having it flash quickly and knock Rob in the back of the head. And then the rapier went back to Lily's hand, and Rob collapsed. And he did a little flourish, Made it look like he actually had stabbed Rob by doing that move, and the crowd went wild. And then Rob was carried off through a gate, and Jorah ran off to try and find out where they would have kept Rob again, even though the day before you guys did not successfully find anything, even though you had really high investigation rolls. Because you cannot find out where they are from this side of the city. You have to go through the military quarters on the back side of the city, and you find this out later. But then through some metagaming logic, you guys were able to Caleb was able to deduce that he could go outside to the east of the city to be able to meet up with the sewers that run into the whatever, into the other stuff to be able to get to where Rob might be. Or where the body might be. Again, I really don't see how he could come up with that in character, but oh well, whatever. But it takes you a while to search and find where he might possibly be coming out of. So you guys actually missed your fights, and you see Lily standing out there waiting. And then Rob drops out of one of the pipes and lands next to Lily. They have a conversation, which to you guys does not seem to be going super well. It's not angry or anything, but it's more like Lily is trying to be very distant and push Rob away. And then he turns and heads towards the front of the King's Pit, or the King's Spittle. Trying to hide his emotions, and Jorah comes up next to him, says some words, and Lily freaks out and turns and stabs him with a sword. I can kill with one hit. Again, I don't know why you guys why Jorah decided to antagonize this thing, even though it wasn't antagonistic what he was saying, but he was not in an emotional state to be aware of his surroundings. So Jorah talking to him freaked him out. And then you guys had to deal with a wound that does not heal. And Caleb apparently knows exactly what he's doing with medicine. Rolled a nat 20 and not stabilized, but was able to stop the bleeding for now.
He had help.
Yeah. You were helping him. Because without the advantage, he would not have gotten a nat 20. And you guys drag Jorah back inside and find the smithy, which you guys had run into a smithy named Smith earlier, who is he is a helping hand around the smithy. He's not actually a smith himself. And when you guys carry Jorah in with this gashing wound on his left arm, he kind of freaks out. And there's a centaur cleric in there who is a forge cleric and starts going through things and trying to figure out how to make it stop bleeding, and decides the best way is to cauterize it. Which he does. Or she does. Cauterizes the wound. Which surprisingly does not kill Jorah. And
Heat metal, cauterize the wound.
yeah. You guys start talking about plans, and you almost left the city at one point, and then you decide not to leave the city because Rob wants to try and get Lily to help find a way to cure Jorah. And so Rob wants to go into the military side to go through that to be able to talk with Lily to get Lily to come out and help. And that's where we ended.
The fighter got tossed in the back of a cart by the centaur cleric.
Yep. And I'm going to completely leave out the whole part about Caleb turning Rob invisible and Rob touching Caleb's face with the hand, poisoning him for all of 10 seconds until Jorah lays a hand on him and says, "You are no longer poisoned," because it's really dumb the fighting that's going on outside of game because of that. You do not think something like that would be taken so personally.
I can see a bit from both sides, though.
My thing about it is, it was a joke. It was instantly fixed. It did not cause any harm. It did not cause any lasting conditions. And it wouldn't have been done unless there was an easy fix. So to me, it's a harmless prank. Just to be funny. That's it. It was just a ha 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 ha. Alright, moving on kind of joke. Like the Lycosa head. If with them hiding the Lycosa, with the two girls hiding the Lycosa head around the place, like that doesn't cause any harm. It scares whoever it is pretty good, but it doesn't do any harm. It doesn't have any lasting effects, and I feel it's the same. To me, those two kind of jokes are in the same genre of jokes. Same style. So I really do not see the other side of it. It's just Tim taking things way too personally, and that's what that is. Alright, and yeah, now that is all caught up with Barrister. We did not play this last week because we didn't have Jorah. Didn't have you guys as tank to be able to actually survive if you guys go into a military base and start causing a ruckus.
And not gonna lie, I was asleep till like 10:30 that night. 10:30 to midnight, one of the two. So I woke up to that conversation. I was like, oh, okay, this is happening.
You mean you fell asleep while in chat with us?
No, I wasn't actually in chat.
Oh.
Like, I woke up, saw that it was like, hey, so what are we doing about the thing? And I'm like, oh, shit, I fell asleep through that. And then I saw the conversation between between some of the characters.
Alright, so yeah, next week, Rob will not be able to join us. But, Jackson will be able to play Rob, so it won't be too big of an issue. Alright, and that is caught up with Barrister, so we can just do recaps from now on that are shorter, and we don't have to spend so much time going through and... Oh yeah, wait, what about that? Oh, we forgot about this.
About what?
No, I'm just saying, like, we bounced around in that recap so often.
Yes, we did.
Even when it was me and Tim, we kept, like, going along with the story, and then, oh wait, we forgot about this and this part. All right. The next one that we need to talk about or we need to recap on is Farragoth. But I don't have the energy
Fair.
for that. There is a lot that happened in Farragoth, and oh man, it is an emotional toll anymore to play in that campaign. It
Oh,
really
because
took it out of me that last session. And part of yesterday, towards when it came around that time, I was just like, I don't want to deal with that this week. Yes, I actually did have the gingerbread houses, but also at the same time, I really just not did not want to deal with that emotion this week.
Yeah, because that's a lot for Rowan to unpack.
It is. And I made Rowan very much to my own personality. So a lot of the stuff that he feels, I also feel very personally. So when stuff like what has happened and what has been dropped on us drops, I feel it. A lot of the emotions that you hear Rowan express are real emotions by me. There are a couple times where they aren't, like some of the anger bits. Those aren't real by me because it's what he would do, but it's not something that I am good at doing. Is being angry.
Yeah.
So we're
That
not gonna
whole end
get.
of the
Sorry, what?
those last two sessions were a bunch of malarkey.
Yeah, but all the emotion that was in those last two sessions, that was all real. That was all real emotion for me. I actually was starting to tear up at one point. Like it was bad. And I knew this was going to happen. Like that's why I told Scott right from the beginning. There are going to be times in this campaign that the emotion is going to be too real for me. And it happened. And it's going to keep happening because he cannot just go back on what he said now.
I am so mad that I called that though.
I'm so mad that I wasn't able to call it before, but that's because I was too distraught by other things. I could see it coming. Like it wasn't very well hidden.
It's like your lich thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's a lich. Oh god, I was joking.
Yeah.
Same deal.
Yeah, it was as soon as he said phylactery, I was like, "Oh no, he's a lich." And then he's like, "Yeah, they have they call him a lich in the elven tongue." I was joking. I don't want to fight a lich.
Yeah, I had my suspicions, but he pretty much confirmed what Redbird's role was as soon as he said, "She hasn't taught you any bardic magics."
See, I
I
thought
was like,
that
"Yeah."
was I thought that the DM was just being like, "No, I'm not going to let you take bard levels. You should just stick with sorcerer." I thought he was trying just to be like a power backseat gamer.
Nope, it's because she can't teach you bard.
Yeah.
But yeah, that pretty much confirmed it for me. Oh yeah, she's not a bard.
I honestly thought that he was just backseat gaming Rowan, saying, "No, you should just take what's good for you. Not have fun with your character." Because I do want to experiment. I do want to put a couple levels in Bard. Because I think that is a very good direction for Rowan. Because he is very much a support.
And take some bardic spells that you can like end a fight before it starts.
Yeah.
That's another one we got to cover. Wolves of Welton.
Yeah, but that one hasn't really started for me, so I gotta put that one on the list. I'll have my pencil over here. That one is gonna have to be put in the list, yeah. I mean, I guess it has started for me now. Yeah. Alright, so, my, campaign that's based on Diablo 3 this week was canceled. So there's no new updates there. We had to cancel due to family stuff that came up. Farragoth this last Sunday was canceled due to family stuff that came up on my end because I went and made gingerbread houses with family because we do that annually. I don't think I'm going to win this year. I think mine's cool because it's very simplistic and I like simplistic, but I don't think I'm going to win. Fear and Loathing is still postponed and still until a further date. Unsure when that will be, but it is postponed. Farragoth on Thursday. Pretty sure we canceled. Yeah, we canceled Thursday as well because it's Christmas Eve. Not to date this or anything, but it's Christmas Eve. And then Friday, my Friday game also this week is canceled due to it being Christmas Day. And then Goblin Wilds on Saturday, as far as I know, is not canceled.
As far as I know, too.
And Barrister on Saturday is also going to be happening. With you guys assaulting. Unless something else happened, yes. Which I still don't have a jail map for this yet. Or map of the jail for you guys. No, I've been trying to find one, and I just don't have one that fits what I want for it, so I have to create one. And finding a good program that actually creates good D&D maps is rather difficult.
Oh, I think I decided on a name for my campaign.
Oh, yeah?
Durgens and Durgans.
Durgens and Durgans?
Yep.
Did you come up with that, or did your wife come up with that?
I came up with that.
Okay.
That is my absolute dumpster fire of idea.
It sounds like you came up with Durgens, and she's like, and Durgans! Or something like that.
No, Durgan is something I've been saying for years.
Oh, yeah?
It's a Durgan.
Okay. I got it. I got it. I got it. It just clicked in my head where the words correlate. I'm a little slow today. Alright, but yeah.
Drink again?
No, I am not, actually. This time I am not. I don't have any more ginger beer. I know, it does. That's because I actually was going to make a drink, and then I remembered I had to hop on here, and then you were answering, and then I was trying to get everything set up, and then you were like, let's go now, and I was like, okay. So I didn't get to make my drink.
I said I was ready.
I know.
This is your stream. We can start whenever.
I want to start every single week on Monday at 7, and we started definitely at like 8:45, 8:50 this time. Or 7:50. So we were already really late, and I wasn't going to take up more time by going and making a drink. I'm also out of... Yes.
I found my mono red standard deck.
Oh, yeah?
My bolt deck.
How good is it?
It's not like
tournament class. This is honestly just something I put together because.
How many turns can you win in?
Oh no, this isn't one of those you win in X amount of turns. This is a. So originally, this was like a 4 or 5 turn deck, depending on what I got.
Yeah.
But that's because I was playing with my roommate at the time, who was actually one of my groomsmen in my wedding. And his friends who were a really competitive meta. So at first, this thing would go off. And they like to play Commander a bunch, so I had a 5-color group hug Commander deck.
Oh, even in Magic, you used to be group hugs.
Which our meta hates group hug, which is why I made it.
Yeah.
Because I had not only a board lock, a 2-card board lock combo, but I had a 2-card hand lock combo where actually I think I have that in my mono blue standard deck. I have to find it now.
Where players can only cast spells at sorcery speed, but then another card that makes it so that they cannot cast anything unless they have flash or an instant.
Oh no, it's the hand lock that's in here. I have Narset, Parter of Veils, where each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn, and then it's Teferi's Puzzle Box, where you draw your card for a turn, and then you discard your entire hand to the bottom of the deck and you draw that many cards. But because of Narset, you drew a card already, which means you put your cards at the bottom and you don't get a hand.
That's mean.
This is also my draw. Mono blue is my draw deck.
Well, I have a couple commander decks. If you want to play Magic sometime, we could probably set that up. We could probably stream it too.
I would have to get a decent camera, and I would actually have to have a commander deck, because these are all standard. These are the 60 card. Because that's the format that my little brother and his friends played. And they became my meta, and I became their rule lawyer because I knew more than they did. And I had to tone it down because they got tired of me constantly winning in a couple turns.
Yeah, my decks never win, really. They're good decks, and there are certain things that when they pop off, they are amazing at winning. But being able to actually do that, I'm very slow at it. My decks are very slow. Commander decks.
Oh, so I also made a commander deck that they don't like and they don't understand how I did it. But it is a red-green group hug deck.
Yeah. Well, mine are just they're meant for multiplayer rather than just one-on-one. Multiple commander decks, so it gives everyone time to build up at least a little bit. That's what these decks are made for. Because usually when I go to play against my friends, it's 3 or 4 of us minimum playing commander all at the same time. So I built decks specifically for that. But I recently found out that I accidentally created an infinite mana production in one of my decks.
Okay, while I'm looking in here, I have to pull all of them out just so I can kind of describe.
It's kind of a janky way to do infinite mana. But it starts with a creature, the Marasa Root Grazer, which is a 2/3 with vigilance, and taps, you may put a basic land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Or taps, return to target basic land you control to its owner's hand. pair that with a enchantment, a blue enchantment called Retreat to Coralhelm, which has landfall. And one of the landfall abilities is you may tap or untap target creature. And then the last card is during each player's is Storm Cauldron, which is a 5 mana costing artifact. During each player's turn, that player may play one additional land. May put one additional land into play. May play one additional land on their turn. And then the second ability is where it comes into play. Whenever a land is tapped for mana, return that land to its owner's hand.
Oh, you're one of those.
No, this is the only like deck that has anything like that in it.
So let's see. This is a red-green group hug. So I've got Mana Flare. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, it produces 1 extra mana of that type.
Mm-hmm.
So your land will tap for 2 mana. Dictate of Karametra, which is an enchantment that does the same thing. So it now taps for 3 mana. Heartbreed of Spring, which does the same thing. So they tap for 4. I have 2 Zerta Ancients, which is a 7/5 creature that does the same thing. So your lands tap for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I get all these on the board.
60 card deck though. Right?
Yes, it's a 60 card deck.
Yeah.
And then I have Mages of the Vineyard. At the beginning of each player's pre-combat main phase, they add 2 green to their mana pool.
Yep, I know that one. Yeah, so with this, I play a land, or I tap a land for mana, a basic land, and I return it to my hand because of Storm Cauldron. I have 1 mana floating. I tap Murasa, Root Grazer, yeah, to put a basic land from my hand into play. I put that basic land back into play. It comes into play untapped. Retreat to Coralhelm triggers, and I untap target creature. I untap Murasa, Root Grazer. I have a floating land, and all my mana is untapped. Rinse and repeat. Infinite mana. And I found that combo on accident. I was building a very land-heavy landfall deck that used creatures to be able to tap to put more lands back into play, and then used a couple different spells, a couple different enchantments and artifacts to, whenever something comes into play, to bounce those lands back to my hand so that I can play them again and get the landfall trigger abilities multiple times in a turn. And I was testing this stuff out, and I accidentally stumbled across this as I was doing a build-out test, and I was like, that's almost impossible to stop if you don't know what's going to happen. Because then I can, with my commander, whenever I play a creature, I can draw a card and put a land from my hand into play. So if I just keep drawing non-lands, I can just keep playing creatures to be able to draw more cards. And then I can eventually get to my win condition, and on the same turn, with Audric and another creature, all my creatures have haste. Oh, and all your creatures are tapped. Because of landfall abilities.
That reminds me of my mono blue, because it's counters, draws, and wheels. And so I am effectively letting you draw cards. I'm shuffling hands and graveyards into your deck. I've got I think my favorite addition in here is Elixir of Immortality.
Yep, I got that. It's a great card.
Because the goal is to get the mana to put Leveler down and Laboratory Maniac.
You need the sorcery that lets you draw cards equal to the number of cards in your library.
Well, here's the thing. By the time I get Labman in hand and I play Leveler, I have enchantments on the field that will make me draw on my next turn. So it's Leveler, Labman, pass turn. They do their thing.
I know, but if you drew every single card in your library and then you put one card back on top, all you have to do is draw 2 cards and you win. You don't have to wait till your next turn. Because they could pull something.
Oh no, my usual thing is always to make sure to have a draw card in my hand before I do that. Like when I get things set up, I make sure that I have as many draw cards and counters in my hand as possible, because by that point I usually have, where is it?
Have you heard of a card called Ginger Texas Core Auger?
I have not.
Alright, here you go. This is going to help because this sounds exactly like the kind of deck or kind of card that your deck needs.
I also have Reliquary Tower,
That's a good one.
especially for a blue draw deck.
Now, this is like also on top of blue draw deck cards.
And then I've also got the blue ley line.
Yep, that's a good one. I got that too. But here it is. Ginger Texas Core Auger. A 5/4 with flash, costing 10 mana. Which is high, yes, but a blue draw deck will be able to spend that 10 mana. At the beginning of your end step, you draw 7 cards. And each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7.
Here, ooh, I have something for that. If I could get that combination out early enough in the game.
And it
That
has flash.
That basically negates.
So right as they go to the beginning of their end step, you flash in Ginger Texas, and suddenly they have to discard their hand because their maximum hand size is reduced by 7. They don't get a chance to play any of it.
Oh god, I was looking for something. Yeah, I have a show and tell in here.
Yeah.
Which each player may choose an artifact, creature, enchantment, or land card and put it into play.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 mana, I can drop it. I can drop Jin out, or I can wait, build up mana, and
But yeah,
him out. Which
Ginger Texas, amazing card. Very hard to actually play in like a normal 60 card game.
so in my little brother's meta, there is one card in my mono blue that they absolutely hate, and some will actually quit if I play it, and it is Forced Fruition.
I think I remember
Whenever
that
an
card.
opponent plays a spell, that player draws 7 cards.
Oh, I would love that card. In with especially one of my decks. No, it does not have any way to make a maximum hand size larger, or make it so it has unlimited hand size. It's a grave cycling deck. So everything that goes in the graveyard will come back eventually.
Except this is also a wheels deck.
I can destroy permanents. It's the entire premise of the deck is creature and permanent hate. It is a green-black, and every time that one of my things gets sacrificed, everyone has to sacrifice things. Whenever I draw a card, someone has to sacrifice something. Whenever I attack someone, someone has to sacrifice stuff. Whenever at the end of my turn, I get to destroy things. Like, just stuff like that. A lot of morbid and a lot of Grave Pact style cards.
Ooh,
So,
then you would like this sorcery then.
which one?
Thassa's Bounty. I draw 3 cards, and target player puts the top 3 cards into the grave from the library into the graveyard.
No. I've specifically not added any mill. Because
There's some mill in here.
my friends are to a point where we have agreed to not use mill on each other because no one likes mill. But I have all the right cards to build a mill EDH deck. And they absolutely hate it when I do.
I forgot I have Diamond Knight and Diamond Mare in here.
But yeah, so that is, I think that's going to be it for the stream. It's a very short one today, unlike the last couple weeks. But
And we got distracted, started talking about MTG.
We did. We did. Which is perfectly fine.
If I could get
next
the money
week.
together, I would. I said I would love to get the money together to build another. I think his name's Kenrith, 5-color group hug commander deck again. But that's so expensive.
I just build decks with whatever I have. I don't go out of my way to buy specific cards.
I don't actually have a collection. The decks I have here, I actually bought off a buddy of mine.
Well, then come over here. Just fly over here, and you can build a commander deck. Just don't take all my rares.
I am not familiar enough in Commander to know what a rare is, so.
It's magic. Rare.
Yes, I know, but I don't know enough to actually tell the difference.
The set symbol is gold.
Ah.
That's a rare.
See, no one ever explained that to me.
Orange is mythic rare. Silver is uncommon. Black is common.
I remember I had to build the group hug because they got tired of my bolt deck and my mono blue.
I probably would too, honestly, from the sounds of them. I like playing the long game. I don't like games that end quickly. I like playing a game that lasts for a couple hours.
There are 2 cards in here that they absolutely abhorred.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I think that's where we're going to stop for there, and because I don't know if people are going to be really interested in our Magic Talk and our D&D podcast.
Probably not.
I'm going to go ahead and say that we will end it here. Next week, we will probably start on the recount of Farragoth. And that is a doozy of a recap. There's a lot. We're probably going to end up jumping around a lot in that one too, because we're going to forget things and remember it later. Because there is just so much in that campaign.
Well, early on, I'm not going to have much to say.
No, I know. And I'm going to be jumping around because I'm going to forget things. I was trying to be nice and saying that we both will, but it's going to be me. So that is it for this week, and hope to see everyone again next week.